Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I got some major Raiders injury news around Hunter Renfrow, Divine Diablo, Darren Waller, and then near the end of the show, we're going to give some love to some of the MVPs that we've had on the Raiders Report here in the last few weeks. And then on top of that, an updated look at the 2023 NFL Draft, where the Raiders pick and the top 10 players on my big board. Let's go to the first story here. It's Hunter Renfrow. Is he playing against the Patriots? If you watched the show last week, I already gave you this answer because last week I said, from what I understand, Renfrow will not play Week 14. In terms of him playing against the Patriots this week, from everything that I have been told, this one is 4 just-win babies. Believe it, baby. When Renfrow came off the IR, he was eligible to play in Week 14. Josh McDaniels said in a bunch of quotes that they didn't want to try to ramp up some of these dudes because they wanted to take their time and get them back up to speed. Remember, he was placed on IR after Week 9, dealing with that oblique injury. He's had a few different injuries throughout the entire season. He's had a concussion, the oblique. He's missed 7 games this season. But everything that I understand is he is going to play unless he has a setback. And that kind of goes for any player that practices or plays. If you have a setback or if you suffer another injury, well, guess what? Then you're not going to play. Hunter Renfrow this season has not had the season that the nation was hoping for. When you extended him to that 2-year, $32 million, $16 million deal, or million-year deal, you were hoping much better production. All of us were. Why? And, I'm going to call it how I see it. We saw a very good slot receiver who looks similar to Wes Welker, looks similar to Julian Edelman, and we thought it was going to work out. It just, unfortunately, has not worked out in that way. Now, after learning the playbook a little bit longer, getting a little bit healthy, I'm hoping that we see the Hunter Renfrow, the third in Renfrow, that the nation has grew up loving. So what I want you to do right now is show Renfrow some love. I'm excited to see 13 back out there on the field. I liked what Matt Collins has done. Obviously, I love Devontae Adams. But we were talking about this Raiders offense being one of the top offenses in the National Football League. If he can get up to speed, if this is the guy that caught 100 balls, if he shows up going forward, the final 4 weeks of the season, what if we do it again? What if we win 4 straight games again to end the year? I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Coming up next here on the show, will Divine Diablo play against the Patriots? I'm going to have my fingers crossed on this one, but friendly reminder that if you're looking for free Raiders content, we are the #1 most watched Raiders show in the entire world, so turn on those notifications. Join the Noti gang, and if you're already subscribed, hey, send that link that you see down there below. Send it to some friends. Somebody who I know subbed, who's always repping with me, our Week 14 MVP Trivan, who was just balling out on our Raiders versus Rams watch party. Hopefully y'all tune into our watch party this upcoming Sunday when the Raiders hopefully take down the Patriots. Other people who spammed RO4L on yesterday's video, shout out to Okie Racer 1, Jaime Alvarado Sr. I always see you down there, my man. We got Macedo, Jorge Rosas, and then Suck a Free Raider. Thank you for being real ones and still sticking with not only me and not only the nation, but also the players on the sidelines. So let's go to this next story here. Divine Diablo. Is he playing against the Patriots? I wish that I could also give this one a 4 just win, babies. I got to actually only give it 2. And I'll tell you why it's only a 2. Diablo, just like Renfrow, we're going to talk about Waller here in a little bit, was eligible to play last week. But because there was such a short week, Thursday Night Football, they didn't want to rush him back. He's dealing with a forearm injury, and from everything that I understand, he's been dealing with this injury for quite some time. He's missed 5 games this year, and the reason why it's 2 just win, babies, is because is he been an up-and-down player this season? Yes, absolutely. Does he have 74 tackles, which is still, I think, second highest right now on the team? He's been a good tackling player. I liked him coming out of Virginia Tech. I liked his versatility. Strong safety that could also play linebacker. But from what I understand, Divine Diablo's team, his people, don't want Diablo to play until he is 100% healthy. And the reason is this. Because if you weren't drafted by the current regime, that's McDaniels and Ziegler, you are not safe. I believe if you took a poll and you asked a lot of Raider fans out there, do you like Divine Diablo? Do you think he's a good player? Is he somebody that you want to have on this team going forward? I would say 75% of the fan base would say, yeah, we like Divine Diablo. What I've learned this season is this: if you are not a Josh McDaniels guy and you're not a Dave Ziegler guy, your job is not safe. So what I have been told, people inside Divine Diablo's camp do not want him to play until he is 100% healthy, because they don't want him to risk his job. Because if he struggles at the end of this year, you go into the offseason, literally anything can happen. If they moved on from Alex Leatherwood as quick as they did, what makes you think that they won't do it with somebody like Divine Diablo? Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, will Darren Waller play against the New England Patriots? This question alone gives me butterflies, man. It's insane to me, the fact that we're still asking this one. I know this. He'll probably drop a new album. That one's almost a guaranteed fact. I'll tell you whether or not Waller is playing against the Patriots, but first, shout out to today's sponsor, Fetch Rewards. And if you want to turn your receipts into gift cards, go to chatsports.com/fetch. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the app, so just sit tight here. So all you do is open the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt. Then hit submit, and you'll see the confetti pop showing that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can click the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon purchase or other online shopping by syncing your email. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Starbucks, Amazon, or hundreds of other retailers and restaurants available. Fetch is available on Android and iPhone. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter promo code chat at sign up for 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's equivalent to a $5 gift card to get started. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points is only for a limited time. So get started now, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter promo code chat. The link is in the comments and in the description of today's video. The holidays is the time of the year where I can almost guarantee most people are going to shop. Most people are going to get something. I imagine you're also probably going to eat this year or in the next day or two. If you buy groceries, if you buy clothes, if you shop at all, and if there's a receipt in your hand, scan it. Get the extra bonus points. You earn them anyway. Super Chats also. Sending in Super Chats, when you link up the Fetch app, you get bonus points, which then get you gift cards going forward. All right, let's go to the final story here, and probably the reason why you ended up clicking on this video here. Darren Waller. Is he playing against the Patriots? I got to give this one 3 just win baby heads, and it's pretty likely. The reason why it's 3 just win babies is this. I was told Darren Waller should play this weekend. I was told Darren Waller is healthy enough to play this weekend. But does anybody who's watching this show right now trust 100% that Darren Waller is going to play? I don't. Until I see Waller on the field, that's the only way that I'm going to believe it. He is expected to play. He's been on that IR with that hamstring injury. He's been dealing with an SI joint. He's missed 8 games this season. The plan all along was to get Renfrow and Waller on the field week 15. That's why they did not play week 14, which we talked about last week. So if you watched the show, you're subbed, you already knew that. The plan is to have both of those players ready to go going up against New England, because let's face it, it's a huge game. This is the biggest game of the season. If you lose this week, you're done. You will not make the playoffs. Season's over. Pack it up. Better luck next year. And the reason why it's such a critical game is because not only is New England 7-6, you're 5-8, but the Patriots are a wild card team. I hate the Patriots. I hate the Chargers. I don't want anybody in that 7th spot not named the Raiders. The Dolphins lost. It's still a wide open. It's honestly, man, it's still wide open. And I say that because I watched the Raiders last season at 6-7 when nobody believed in them. This team is getting healthy. This is a better overall football team. And when they play their best, I believe it, they can hang with just about anyone. So in terms of playoff chances, the final 4 games, you got the Patriots, you got the Steelers, Niners, and then the Chiefs. Percentage-wise, okay, this is the biggest game. This is the most important game for the Raiders based on percentage, and it's been like that for quite some time. So you show up this week, McDaniels gets his revenge game, Ziegler gets his revenge game, you make Raider Nation happy. That's what I want, man. So what do you expect from Waller this week? I mean, seriously, what do you expect? Do you expect to see the Darren Waller that you paid 3 years, $51 million, and made him the highest paid tight end in the National Football League? The guy that you saw 2-3 years ago getting over 100 catches, being a top 3 tight end? Or do you expect to see the Darren Waller that you've seen this year and the back half of the other season? I don't know what to expect. Do you expect Darren Waller to drop another album called Turf Toe? I have no idea. You know what, though? I expect this, and I don't know if I'm going to get it, but this is what I expect. I expect Darren Waller to dominate because that's what you paid him to do. When Waller is motivated, when Waller is focused, and when Waller is 100% healthy, and by all accounts, I know for a fact if he's playing this week, he should be 100% healthy. I expect him to be that top 3 tight end. I expect him to be that guy that you once put a C on the chest. I want Darren Waller to show the nation that you still want to be a Raider. You know the easiest way to silence critics? The easiest way? You did it to Keenan Allen. Remember him? Keenan Allen's going like this. Raiders win. Barbecue chicken. Easiest way to silence critics. Going out there and perform because the Raiders, man, we just haven't seen it right now. And I hate saying this, but I said it before with Damon Arnett. Damon Arnett at the time looked like he was more worried about being a rapper than being a football player. And maybe this is a harsh take. I like that guys like having hobbies. I like to cook. You don't see me putting more time and effort into my cooking career than the Raiders Report. Why? This is how I pay my bills. Football is how this man pays his bills. And I want to see that guy show me and Raider Nation that he cares more about his Raiders career. And not that he can't care about his music career. Go, pursue it. But your job is to play football. So play some football, and that's what's going to make us happy. Because from what I've seen this year, hasn't been good. Even when you've been on the field, that Tennessee Titans game still keeps me up at night because Darren Waller alone dropped 17 points. That's tough to do. But you know what? I like to think I'm a competitive person. And if I knew somebody beat me before the last time I played them, I'm putting that extra work, and I'm going to give everything I got. The last time Darren Waller went up against the New England Patriots, okay? Last time he went up against New England, 4 targets, 2 catches, 9 yards, and no touchdowns. How does that sit with you? Because like I said, that would not sit well with me, and I hope it doesn't sit well with you. So Waller, show up this week because in the last 455 days, what have you done in the last 455 days? Waller has 1 game above 100 receiving yards. 1 game. In the last 435 days, Waller has 2 receiving touchdowns. And that's just frustrating. It is. It is a frustrating thing. Waller has all the talent in the world. He can be this incredible player. And the reason why Raider Nation is frustrated is because time and time again, it seems when Raiders give somebody a big contract, they get lazy. They don't care as much. Their attention goes elsewhere. And when you think about how much it's happened in recent years, I mean, look at Antonio Clown, Trent Brown. Those 2 contracts stick out to me. Then you got Corey Littleton. Somebody even like a Tyrell Williams. That deal didn't end up working out. Multiple deals that you gave big-time money to. Chandler Jones, he's been playing better of late. But the amount of times we give big-time money to somebody and then it just seems like they don't care anymore, I'm sorry. It's just downright frustrating. Next thing up here on the Raiders Report, an updated NFL draft order. Every single week that happens, the draft order gets switched up here. So what I'm going to show y'all is the updated look. But before I do that, I am going to New York City today on Tuesday, and I'm going to be coming back on Saturday because I'm going to be working Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to cover the Raiders game and give you guys content. This upcoming week is like my Christmas vacation with my girlfriend Alex. I get to see my dad for the first time in a year, and I am super, super stoked about it. So what are some things that you would do in New York City? Jeremy talked about this place that I think Timus Square, I think is what he ended up calling it. Something like that. Maybe I'll check it out. Sounds French. Sounds like a good time. So here's an updated 2023 NFL draft order. You got the Las Vegas Raiders sitting there at number 8. Sitting there at number 8 might not make a lot of people happy, but you know what? The more and more I start thinking about it, the more and more I kind of like this position here because you're in a spot where you can trade back. I don't really see the silver and black trading up, but there are teams that are right there like the Carolina Panthers, like the Atlanta Falcons that could potentially end up trading up to hop a certain team because guess what? I actually think C.J. Stroud slides a lot further in the draft. I think even a player like Bryce Young slides in the NFL draft because of recent play, and there's question marks around those 2 dudes. If you were to ask me, and I hope people do, my top 10 prospects in the NFL draft right now, Will Anderson would be number 1. but the more and more tape I watch on this Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia, it would not surprise me if at the end of the college football playoffs that Jalen Carter is number one on my list, because every time I watch this dude play, he just seems like the best player out there on the field. Will Anderson is an elite edge rusher. I just want to see a little bit more bend out of him. He has all the steps in the world. I love what I've seen out of Myles Murphy. Obviously, y'all are probably looking at C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Kelee Ringo from Georgia is my top cornerback. Bryan Bresee, ever since the ACL injury, doesn't quite look as great. Christian Gonzalez, another very front prospect. The longer the season goes on, the more and more I'll start doing more stuff around the draft, so please keep that in mind. And if you need any more updates, whether that's social media, wherever I'm at, Mitchell Renz 365, hit me up over on Locals, RaidersReport.locals.com, because every single week we do a Pick'em Challenge, and I want to be able to show some love to our Week 13 and Week 14 Pick'em champions right here. Shout out to Aaron and shout out to Dan, because those guys were repping it. They were killing it. And if you want to have your face on a Raiders Report show, join us on Locals, RaidersReport.locals.com. Whoever can pick the most games right every week, I told y'all, you get some love on the Raiders Report. So hit me up, y'all. I mean it. I'm here for you guys. I try to keep you up to date. Everybody enjoy their Tuesday, and please do not forget to give me those recommendations on what the heck I'm supposed to do in New York.